Hello, welcome back to our video tutorials that describe how to perform general chemistry experiments in Second Life. I am Dr. Kurt Winkleman at Florida Tech. Today's tutorial explains how you, students at Texas A&M, will measure the molar mass of butane gas. First, let's talk about some of the differences between this laboratory benchtop and the one that you find in a real lab. When you teleport to a lab station, your avatar will appear on a large benchtop with oversized lab equipment. We made the equipment large so that small details are easier to see. On the left side of the equipment, we see a red button. This is the Reset button. When you click it, a menu appears. The menu is called Random Coal's Reset Button Butane, because Random Coal is the programmer who created all the virtual objects in these experiments. You'll see his name attached to many of the items here. Pressing the Reset menu option will put all the experiment settings back to their default values so that you can start over. Always reset the experiment when you first arrive in case somebody else left an experiment half finished before you teleported in. You can also press the Reset button if you make a mistake during your experiment. Notice the other menu option buttons. You can exit the menu, which will close the menu screen without changing anything. There's also the block and ignore buttons. Don't press these. Clicking on those can make it harder for you to perform the experiments. Just don't worry about them. Now let's close this menu and talk about some of the equipment that is different than what you use in your regular general chemistry lab at Texas A&M. This Second Life lab experiment uses a digital barometer, which is mounted on the back wall, and a digital thermometer, which is laying next to the sink. Clicking on them will give you the air pressure and air temperature. Next, let's talk about how you manipulate objects in Second Life. You already saw that some objects, like the Reset button, give you a menu of options to choose from. Other objects, like the digital barometer, simply perform a single task without a menu. You'll discover both types of objects in these experiments. When you place your mouse pointer on an object, it might turn into a pointing finger. That indicates that you can click on the object and that it will do something. Occasionally, you might try to do something that doesn't seem to work. For instance, we can try to put the butane lighter onto the analytical balance. We click on the lighter and a menu appears. Option 1 is to place the lighter on the balance. So we click that option. It didn't work. But here's why. This message in the lower left part of the screen said that we need to open the door of the balance. Well, of course, that makes sense. Once we open the door, we can put the lighter inside the balance. The analytical balance door automatically opens when we click on it. Then we click on the lighter. The butane lighter menu appears, and we click option 1. And now the lighter is moved to the analytical balance for weighing. In the last part of this tutorial, I will show you how to change the view that you see on your computer screen. During an experiment, you will need to look at some objects closely, such as when you read the volume in a graduated cylinder. Of course, the easiest way to change what you see is to move your avatar forward or back, or turn left or right. But sometimes that's not enough. Click on the camera control button at the bottom of the screen. The camera controls appear. They allow you to do 3 things. The middle control allows you to zoom in or out by pressing the plus or minus sign. You can change the height or position of your view by clicking on the arrows in the square. Finally, you can change the perspective of your view by rotating left, right, up, or down by clicking on the arrows in the circle. Let me demonstrate how to use the camera controls. I want to read a volume level within the graduated cylinder. I approach the cylinder, and then I press the plus button on the camera controls. I start to zoom in. But notice as I zoom in, I can't see the bottom of the graduated cylinder, so I need to lower my gaze. I press the down button in the square. That lowers my camera angle to ground level. That way I can see the graduated cylinder right in front of me. Clicking the left arrow within the circle rotates my view. Getting your camera angle just right is important, but it can be kind of tricky, so I recommend practicing. Now, if you want to restore your original point of view, press the escape button on your computer keyboard. That's all for this tutorial. We discussed some of the unique features of the Second Life Lab benchtop, ways to manipulate objects by clicking on them and using menus, and ways to change your point of view. Good luck with your experiments, and I'll see you in Second Life.